Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film Machete Kills. Machete, played by Danny Trejo, who has been hired by the president, Carlos Estevez, or Charlie Sheen, to kill an evil cartel leader, played by Damon Bashir, who has a bomb strapped to his heart, and also destroy the evil weapons dealer who gave him that bomb, named Voss, played by Mel Gibson, before a missile is launched at Washington, D.C., and they know Machete is the only one who can get the job done. Now, the plot is actually, if you watch the film, it's seemingly a lot more complicated than that, unfortunately. These kind of tongue-in-cheek B movies, which I guess Tarantino and Rodriguez's Grindhouse double feature was really the beginning of that, in these kind of movies that want to be cult movies, movies that are made to be cult movies. And all the other ones like Piranha, Shark Night, probably the best one was Hobo with a Shotgun, Drive Angry, Ninja Assassin was kind of one as well. And I remember when they would come out, I'd get a little drunk with some friends and go see them, and we'd have a fun time because it's such a dumb movie. And, it's like a silly, stupid, B kind of what used to be Grindhouse movies were. But I've gotten older where I don't really want to do that as much as I used to. And I feel like maybe just like myself, the public at large has kind of outgrown this whole idea of seeing movies like this. It used to be cool, like, oh, we'll sneak beers into the theater and we'll watch this shitty kind of tongue-in-cheek B movie. When that whole vein of film started, that seemed like a cool idea. But after you've done it a lot of times, like I even was one of the few who saw Piranha 3DD in theaters. I was totally down for it for a lot longer than most people. Even though I saw it with an audience who was really into it, I didn't take beers in with me, and I was pretty sober when I saw it. And well, I was sober. I mean, I guess I was on a soda high, if you can call it that. Although I had fun, and I think this is a fun movie, it kind of made me look at the whole genre. When the first one happened, it was fun because it was a B tongue-in-cheek joke, but Robert Rodriguez hasn't made a movie in a while. I never thought he was the best director, but I had some faith in him, like in Sin City and El Mariachi and From Dusk Till Dawn, and maybe even somewhat Desperado. I had some faith in him, but I'm starting to lose that faith because he's just making a shitty movie at this point. I think Robert Rodriguez knows how to have fun with like a smaller budget, even if he does stunt cast the living fuck out of this movie. He definitely makes it work within itself, and I think he's really good at that. And it gets away with a lot because a lot of cheap movies do this, where if you're watching a movie that's made in a cheaper fashion, you kind of give it slack as an audience member. At least I do when I see these movies, because I don't naturally think like, oh, they could have done better. I'm like, oh, well, I've been watching this for 20 minutes and I'm pretty sure they can't do better, so I'm just going to accept this. And it feels like Robert Rodriguez is riding on that a little too hard, especially for a director who's been around as long as he has. And I feel like he's a little more accomplished than he's really giving himself credit for, especially in these Machete films. I mean, one was fine, but this, it feels like he's just retreading material he doesn't need to. I almost can't imagine the Robert Rodriguez who people used to say, could possibly do a Die Hard and would be up for big studio action films. I can't even imagine that guy anymore while watching Machete Kills. It's kind of shocking. It's like, wow, how the mighty have fallen. I don't even know if people really wanted a Machete sequel, especially at this scale. I kind of don't understand why this wasn't on VOD. I think that would have worked a lot better for Machete Kills, especially if they do the third film, which is Machete Kills Again in Space, which felt really cheap. Oddly enough, they have the trailer for the third film at the beginning of Machete Kills, and the film kind of oddly leads up to the events that will set up the third film. This kind of represents a kind of a genre that was a part of a time period, and that time period is over. In almost the same way with Robert Rodriguez's career, unfortunately. It feels like he was a director from a past era, and he's come back with this, and it's just kind of sad. He's kind of like just a simple B-movie director. He has a lot more in common with Roger Corman than he does Tarantino. I hope he kind of gets back to what he had, because I don't think he was an amazing director, but when he did an action movie, there was a sense of fun about it. I still think there's a sense of fun about this, and it kind of shows like, yeah, he can, even with a stupid, cheapy sequel, to Machete kind of do a lot better than kind of just a regular studio director. He has a bit of a flair about it. I kind of have a problem with all the characters he puts in this film. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's just like, he stunts casts it way too much. I mean, Sofia Vergara, Amber Heard, Lady Gaga, Antonio Banderas, Cuba Gooding Jr., Vanessa Hudgens, Alexa Vega, Tom Savini. Way too many people in this movie, way too many characters, and characters he brought back, like those two like twin girls come back, Michelle Rodriguez comes back. I mean, Jessica Alba, I guess, was back as well. He still keeps the simple plot moving despite having all these characters, and he does a lot better job of it, actually, than a lot of blockbuster directors do when you have way too many characters. It doesn't get too lost in it, but it often feels like he's getting very close to drowning in all this excess of characters and subplots. Like, he has his own bizarre Marvel universe of Machete. This film made me feel a lot older because it's like I didn't have time to work this out with somebody to go see it at some place like Nighthawk or even the new Alamo Draft House in New York. Or I think this would probably be a film that you'd want to see like with friends drinking beers and things like that, and I feel like it's made for that. So it's just not a great cinematic film, and it kind of knows it's not. I think it is actually a better version of one of those kind of tongue-in-cheek cheapy movies, although I feel like this is just a cheapy B movie. Like they succeeded in what they were trying to do, but I don't think they succeeded in doing much more than that. But I don't know if they really actually wanted to do much more than that. It doesn't feel like they did. A lot of reviews I've read have said, you know, the joke has gone too far and it's over. The joke is over. Stop doing this, Robert Rodriguez. I still had fun. If you see it with a fun audience who's really into it and laughs at a lot of stuff, I think it's a fine, silly, stupid sequel. It's like a Very Brady sequel of Machete films. Nobody prefers a Very Brady sequel to the Brady Bunch movie, and no one's going to prefer Machete Kills to Machete. But it's still a fun time. It's a stupid fun time, and I kind of enjoy it for that. But it does make me look back at this whole genre and go, I agree, it is enough. I've had fun. I've had a lot of fun. I've liked them a lot more than a lot of people have. The film itself is a fun movie, but it feels like for Robert Rodriguez as the director, he needs to maybe evolve a little bit. It feels a little sad at this point, you know, for him to be doing this. The movie's fine. It's just the whole time I was thinking, like, God, what happened to Robert Rodriguez? I used to love From Dusk Till Dawn. That was like my Halloween movie when I was 13. And now it's like I can't imagine him doing something as fun as that. This movie did kind of make me put him in a lot of doubt, because it's like, you're still doing shit like this. It's like you come back to a friend and you thought they would have grown out of something, and they clearly haven't, and you're just like depressed about it. You're not giving them the level of consistency as a person. This guy who once looked so promising just looks like a sad director who doesn't know where else to go with his career. So if you have seen Machete Kills and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to.